Picture two women over 60 arriving at the same gathering, wearing almost the same outfit, at almost the same price. The first comes in quickly, checks her reflection twice, and glances around to see who noticed her. The second comes in calmly, turns to the nearest person, and gives them her full, unhurried attention. Nothing about the second woman's clothes cost more, and yet she reads as unmistakably elegant, while the first simply reads as dressed. The difference isn't the outfit. It's the quiet signal each one sends before she ever says a word. And that signal isn't one personality type or one price tag. It's a handful of small human things, and you almost certainly carry more of them than you realize. Here's what most people get wrong about elegance after 60. They assume it comes from the handbag, the label, the size of the wardrobe. But you've met women with all of that who still don't read as elegant, and women with very little who quietly hold a room. Money can absolutely improve a wardrobe. What it can't automatically do is create warmth, ease, self-knowledge, or presence. Those are communicated through behavior, and behavior was never something you had to be able to afford. So today I'll show you 7 quiet behaviors that signal genuine elegance after 60. Not one personality, but 7 ways a woman shows composure, care, and dignity. And I'll give you one small, doable practice for each. So this is something you can actually use, not just nod along to. As we go, just notice which ones already feel like you. And stay for the 7th, because it's the one that has nothing to do with how a woman looks or sounds. It's about what people feel after she's left the room. Sign 1. She doesn't make the room carry her hurry. The first quiet sign is composure. And let me be precise about what that means. Because it isn't slowness, and it isn't being calm by nature. Plenty of elegant women are quick, lively, and energetic. Composure simply means she doesn't hand her internal rush to everyone around her. She finishes one interaction before turning to the next. She lets a small inconvenience stay small, instead of making it the room's emergency. She doesn't throw her stress onto the people nearby. You can move quickly and still have this. It's about not making everyone else absorb your urgency. This matters because the harried, scattered quality that undercuts elegance shows up in expensive clothes exactly as often as in inexpensive ones. It was never about the outfit. And here's the freeing part. Composure can be practiced, a little at a time, whatever your natural pace. Your small practice. Take one breath before you answer a question. That single pause is composure, and people feel it. So that's the first. She keeps her urgency from becoming everyone's chaos. Composure shapes how a woman enters a room, and the next sign changes how everyone feels once she's there. Sign 2. She gives people her genuine attention, without becoming everyone's caretaker. The second quiet sign is the way she makes others feel seen. She isn't performing or competing. She's actually present with whoever she's talking to, and people leave a moment with her feeling a little more valued. But let me add something the usual advice leaves out, because it matters for women especially. This is about giving people dignity, not about making yourself responsible for managing everyone's feelings. You've likely spent a lifetime being expected to keep everyone comfortable. Elegance doesn't require endless emotional labor. You can be genuinely warm without taking on the whole room's mood. So it shows in simple, bounded things. She listens to the answer instead of waiting to talk. She brings the overlooked person into the circle. She thanks the waiter directly. And by looking at him, she can disagree without humiliating anyone. Warmth with a backbone. Present and kind, not depleted. Your small practice. Ask one person one real question, and listen to the entire answer without planning your reply. So that's the second. She gives people dignity, warmly and within her limits. And the next sign is a kind of confidence that asks for nothing. Sign 3. She doesn't compete for the room of. The third quiet sign is security that doesn't need to dominate. And I want to correct a common myth here, because it isn't simply quiet equals confident. That's not true. Some of the most secure, elegant women are funny, bold, expressive, wonderful storytellers. Some very quiet women are deeply unsure of themselves. Volume was never the point. The real sign is that she doesn't compete for the oxygen in the room. She can let someone else's story stand without topping it. She can hear another woman praised without needing to diminish it. She doesn't interrupt, name drop, or turn every conversation back to herself. That's the difference between confidence and the need to control. And no wardrobe can disguise which one a woman has. Elegance isn't low volume. It's a low need to dominate. Whatever your natural energy, your small practice. Let one person finish a story completely without jumping in or capping it with your own. So that's the third. She doesn't compete for the room. So far, these signs have been social. The next one is physical, and it is absolutely not about having a perfectly straight back. Sign 4. She inhabits her own body with as much ease as it allows. The fourth quiet sign is physical ease. And I want to be careful and honest here, because so much style advice gets this wrong. You'll hear, stand tall, shoulders back, never collapse. But many women over 60 live with osteoporosis, arthritis, a curved spine, chronic pain, fatigue, or use a mobility aid. And for them, posture is not a free choice or a confidence signal, and being told otherwise is simply unfair. So the real principle isn't a straight spine. It's inhabiting whatever posture and movement your body allows, with as much ease and as little tension as possible. That ease reads beautifully in ways that have nothing to do with a rigid back, turning toward the person speaking, hands resting comfortably, using a cane or walker with confidence rather than apology, moving deliberately within what's comfortable. It's the ease, not the angle, that signals self-respect. Your small practice. Settle into the most comfortable, open alignment your body allows. And if changing your posture is painful or new, that's a conversation for a doctor or physiotherapist, not something to force. So that's the fourth. She inhabits her body with ease, on her body's terms. Physical ease is what others see. The next sign is what a woman stops demanding of herself. Sign 5. She doesn't wait to feel perfect before she lives. The fifth quiet sign is a kind of self-acceptance, but a realistic one, not a flawless one, because the usual version sets a bar almost no one clears. The elegant woman isn't necessarily someone who has fully made peace with aging and never has a low day. She's simply someone who doesn't let every insecurity shrink her life. She still shows up to the lunch, the photo, the trip, the conversation, without waiting until she feels perfectly confident or perfectly happy with her reflection, because she knows that day may never fully arrive, and she's not willing to wait for it to start living. So this isn't, she loves everything about herself. It's that she participates anyway. And it's worth saying clearly, choosing makeup, coloring your hair, or any outer change is completely fine. Those can genuinely support how you feel. They just can't do the one inside job for you, which is deciding you still belong fully in your own life, exactly as you are right now. Your small practice. Wear or do one thing you simply enjoy this week, without asking whether it makes you look younger. So that's the fifth. She doesn't wait for perfect to participate. Self-acceptance is internal. The next sign is where self-respect becomes visible, in ordinary detail. Sign 6. She tends what she has within her means. The sixth quiet sign is visible care. And this is the one I most need to keep honest, because it's so easily turned into a question of money, and it shouldn't be. You'll hear, pressed clothes, manicured nails, perfect fit. But pressing takes time and electricity. Tailoring takes money. Neat nails take dexterity some hands no longer have. And none of that is a measure of a woman's self-respect. The real sign is much simpler and available to everyone. Her care looks deliberate, within whatever her means and her body allow. That can be a repaired button, a brushed coat, clean shoes, a scarf tied with a little intention, a mobility aid she's chosen to suit her, clothes free of the damage that's avoidable. It isn't about more or expensive. It's about tended. Whatever level of care is realistic for you, one deliberate detail quietly says, this was on purpose. Your small practice. Choose one thing you already own and give it one small act of care. A repair, a clean, a press, or just tying it with intention. So that's the sixth. She tends what she has, within her means. And now the seventh, the quietest of all, and the one that has nothing to do with how she looks or sounds. Sign 7. She leaves other people with their dignity intact. Here it is, the seventh, and it's the one that lingers longest. Because it isn't about her at all. It's about what's left in other people after she's gone. The truly elegant woman doesn't make anyone smaller. She doesn't get her laugh at someone's expense. She corrects quietly and in private, never to win a moment in public. She can disagree without contempt. And she treats the person clearing the plates with exactly the same respect she gives the most important person in the room. Because she never uses elegance as a way to sit above anyone. This is the rarest and most beautiful sign, and it's the one money has never once been able to buy. Because it isn't about her polish at all, it's about her character. You can forget what an elegant woman wore. You remember how she made you feel about yourself. And a woman who consistently leaves people feeling respected, included, and a little taller is carrying the deepest elegance there is, one no wardrobe and no amount of money could ever supply. Your small practice. In one moment this week where it would be easy to be sharp or to score a point, choose instead to protect the other person's dignity. The one thing to carry from all 7 Verds. So if you keep one thing, keep this. Elegance after 60 isn't one personality, one posture, or one wardrobe. It isn't being quiet, or rich, or perfectly upright, or fully healed. It's the quiet consistency between who you are, how you treat people, and how you carry yourself. That's why it was never something you had to afford. It's something you live, in whatever way fits your body, your temperament, and your life. And most of these, you're already doing. This week, choose just one small practice. Take a breath before you answer, listen to one full answer, tend one thing you own, wear one choice that's simply yours, or protect one person's dignity in a moment you could have been sharp. Any one of them is elegance. Tell me in the comments, which of these 7 do you already recognize most strongly in yourself? Be generous with yourself when you answer. You carry more of them than you give yourself credit for. And if there's a woman in your life who has these quiet signs, I'd love to hear about her. I read every comment and I answer. Then watch the next one. On screen now. 3 colors that make gray hair look expensive. Because once the inner signal is clear, the right colors simply let your face, rather than the garment, be the first thing people notice. Take care of yourself, with intention, and I'll see you very soon.